Caitlin Clark last night cost her team a victory. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fevers playing at home in their fourth game. They were tied. They were going along pretty good. She hit a deep three to put them up. Next thing you know, okay, game's tied. Caitlin Clark turns it over. She turns it over at half court because the girl guarding her is not some little girl from Indiana. It's a woman. It's a woman that's a professional basketball player and a defensive stalwart. Took it from Caitlin Clark, went down. Caitlin Clark, open court, whatever the hell they call it, fouled. And then it happened. Then Caitlin Clark's mouth got the best of her. She waited till the official got in front of her, and she dropped an F-bomb on the official. She said, call a effing foul. Boom, technical ensued. Next thing you know, game over. Fever lose. Nice crowd, though, in Gainbridge Fieldhouse, but the Fever lose. Now, Caitlin Clark is going to be the Rookie of the Year. Caitlin Clark is going to be a superstar. But I've said this before, and I'll say this again. Man, you go from last year, not this past year, the year before when they lost. They lost to Angel Reese in the NCAA final. You go from there, and then all of a sudden, all summer you're playing. The fall comes, you're a star, you're getting hounded at Iowa football games. The fall gets later into winter, and now it's on. And now it's on, and you, Caitlin Clark, are the number one thing going in basketball. Not only college, but men's, women's, and professional basketball. You're the show. And it only gets worse as the season progresses. What does that mean? That means that all year long, every move you make is scrutinized. Caitlin Clark ducks under the rope to sign autographs for a little girl. Film at 11. People sing happy birthday to Caitlin Clark. We must show it. Film at 11. Press conference, young cancer patients saying good luck. Caitlin's got to see that. I mean, it's just every single day, every single way. Of course, the racist element. By the way, yesterday I got called a known white supremacist for my take a few months ago on Cheryl Swoops. A known white supremacist because Cheryl Swoops is an idiot. What are you going to do? But anyway, the racist element, the sex element, straight white girl in a heavy lesbian league. Last night, a woman on the Sun made a pass to another woman on the Sun, and the announcer said, well, she made a nice drop-off pass to her fiance. I laughed out loud. I'm sorry. That's not a slight. That's not a slur. It was just funny to me. I've watched a lot of basketball since 1970, and I've never heard a person on a team make a pass to a person on the team referred to as their fiance. Now, call me whatever you like for that one. Some kind of ist. I don't know, but that was funny. What's wrong with that, Dakich? It's just funny to me. I'm sorry. But Caitlin Clark's mantra has been, don't lose the fun of it. Don't lose the fun of it. And I hope she doesn't. Because at some point now, after the NCAA championship game, she had like a minute. And next thing you know, it is the draft, the WNBA draft. And she's got to put on her Versace and all the crap that little girls and little boys do when they're getting drafted. Yay, Rod, go fight, win. I got my shades, and I got my skirt, and I got my vest, and I got my suit, and blah, 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 blah. But anyway, Caitlin Clark, to me, has handled this better than anybody possibly could. Like yesterday, she hit a three. On this end prior, Aaliyah Boston had blocked a shot. About 10 seconds later, the pass was dropped off. Clark hit a three. I saw two racist posts. Wouldn't have happened without the Aaliyah Boston block. Well, really? That was 10 seconds ago. The woman hit one from the logo. But the race element is always going to be there. In the crazy world of women's sports, the lesbian element is always going to be there. Some are actually, though, jumping on the bandwagon, and they are smart. Tina Charles, former and longtime WNBA star Tina Charles, praised Caitlin Clark, said the new generation should be praised for bringing attention to women's basketball. It feels good. I mean, I think just the excitement and the energy around this league. Yeah, around our team. But at the same time, Caitlin Clark said, I'm just learning. That's right. Day by day. That's going to be the biggest thing for myself. And I think continuing to stack days, whether you learn one little thing or you learn a lot, I think continuing to improve is going to be the biggest part of it for myself. But also, I don't want to lose the fun of it. That's right. She went on to say the energy that we're getting, the reception, the eyes that we're getting on us. This is Tina Charles. It's amazing. It's just because of the new generation that's coming in. They've just taken the baton from 97 and just bringing us forward. Good for Tina. Just very thankful for their skills, how they've handled themselves and the media. It's just bringing us along. Finally, somebody gets it because it is a new generation. I don't know whether this is going to last. Caitlin Clark's team is 0-4, but they're getting better, and they will continue to get better, and she will be the star of the league soon enough, but maybe not this year or next, but that's okay. And then hopefully everyone else does the same, whether it's that blonde girl that keeps wearing skimpy dresses and Angel Reese with the eyelashes, good. Hopefully it's all of them, and away we go. Caitlin Clark's stats through 4 WNBA games, 68 total points. She's shooting 41%, 35 from 3, 22 assists, 26 turnovers. He got a technical foul for cursing out a ref with 3:41 to go in the game last night. But here's the deal. I watched the game last night. I'm a radio host in my part-time job after this show in Indianapolis. The Fever play in Indianapolis. Going back to 2012, I got to tell you, that's the last time I watched a Fever game. Why did I watch in 12? They won the championship. The Fever had a great player named Tamika freaking Catchings. She was great. Very nice woman. Incredibly nice woman. No reason not to watch Tamika Catchings. I did when they won. When they were just okay, I didn't. And the last year I had a radio show was the year before last. I didn't speak of the Fever one time, didn't pay attention. But last night, I got done doing what I do, whatever that is. Next thing you know, I went upstairs, took a shower, started watching. Caught the second half. And I saw a great crowd. And I saw an entertaining product. Now, it'd be more entertaining if the Fever got off the 0-4 schneid. That would be very entertaining, but it hasn't happened yet, but it will. And Aaliyah Boston, she is complaining. Now, this is the victimhood we get into with success. She complained to HR that she had to delete her Twitter. She had to delete her Instagram because of all the hate. Well, you know what? Welcome to the world of fame. I had a damn cop in Carver Hawkeye Arena in Iowa, a state trooper, put out on Facebook, if anyone in Carver Hawkeye Arena has a gun, shoot Dakich in the head. No victimhood, the price of fame. Learn it, love it, live it, as they said in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That's right. But keep plugging. I'll keep watching. There you go. The NCAA. Everybody hates the NCAA, but all I see the NCAA do is put on great events. But everybody wants a piece of the NCAA pie. Coaches are being smart. If I were a coach, I'd say, you know what? I'm getting paid $10 million a year. We need revenue sharing for the players. That's what Jim Harbaugh did, and every media guy fell for it. Of course Jim Harbaugh is going to say that. What does he care? Of course coaches are going to say that. What do they care? They're getting theirs. I want to look good in front of my players. Revenue share, damn it. Well, guess what? There's a settlement vote coming. There's going to be revenue sharing. How about just for starters, the NCAA is planning on settling the primary lawsuit for $2.77 million. Listen to this, of which 40% would be paid by the organization, while the other 60%, now this is where it's going to hurt, will come from a reduction in payouts to leagues across college athletics, meaning conferences like the SEC, Big Ten, ACC, along with the Group of Five, would be on the hook for the 60%. Now you got $100. 60 cents or $60 of that $100 is no longer going to you if you're one of these leagues. How about this? The smaller conference will feel it, as they should not have to pay the amount that is currently being proposed and have submitted alternate proposals on how much they are on the hook for. Well, let's be honest. No one gives a rat's ass about the smaller conferences. Here's where it gets sexy, though. All of this is to say that schools from a conference like the Big East are not fully on board and having to pay nearly $7 million annually for the next 10 years, when their athletic department budget's already going to take a hit when it comes to revenue sharing with athletes. What can I tell you? What can I tell you? The unintended consequences. Yeah, man. Look, I've said this before, and I'll say this again. I don't give a rat's ass about 18 to 23-year-old athletes. I'm sorry, I was one. I just don't care. I don't care if they get paid. I don't care if they don't get paid. I don't give a damn if there's revenue sharing or there's not. I don't care. But what I do care about is the sport and the school. At some point, you got to protect the sport and the school. None of these athletes would make a dime going out on their own if they did not have the school behind them. And I used Tyler Hansbrough playing at Carolina in the Final Four after he had left. 8 bazillion Tyler Hansbrough jerseys. He had graduated the year before. He's playing with the Fort Wayne Mad Ants. 0 Tyler Hansbrough jerseys at a Mad Ants game in the G League. The name on the front matters, but we don't care about that because everybody has to acquiesce to 18 to 23-year-old little pains in the ass that want to get theirs. Well, the current group of 18 to 23-year-olds shouldn't get jack squat for revenue sharing. The TV deals are already done. Not one player on one team had any impact in the Big Ten's deal with CBS, Fox, ESPN, you name it. None. 0. Zip. Even though the ESPN deal has expired. They had none. Maybe 1 or 2 had, I don't know. Maybe they had a little bit of a factor on selling tickets to a particular game or games. Johnny Manziel, big draw at Texas A&M. But you can put on one hand. Trace Jackson Davis, All-American at Indiana, he had 0 zip impact on ticket sales. Indiana, Purdue's been selling out for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So just stop it with the athlete's impact. And I've had mommies and daddies say, schools are making out on the backs of my son. No, they're not. Your son is making out on the backs of schools. So I don't care. I don't give a damn. But now we're starting to see what old Double D has been saying. Old Double D has been saying this for years. I don't care. But you better protect the school. You better protect the sport. Big East schools having to pay listen to this, $7 million a year for 10 years. I'm just saying. That's what they are doing. $7 million, they can't afford that. See, Bowling Green was on like an $18 million budget for like 18 sports. It was insanity. Crazy. Nuts. Well, here's the deal. Couldn't afford $7 million. Couldn't afford anything. If you went and said you got to pay whatever 1/10 is, let's just say for the sake of argument, every school's got to fork out $50,000, let's say. All right? Bowling Green couldn't afford that. I guess they would have to figure it out, but that's the way the world works. Yeah, man, you got to keep paying. You got to keep paying and paying and paying because apparently 18 to 23-year-olds need the money. It's disgusting. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. Very, very stupid. And that's the only word I can use for it. You better protect the effing school. and the sport. Not 18 to 23-year-olds running around half naked putting their finger in their mouth. Go make your own money. I don't want to hear it. Anyway, that's the way I look at it. But again, what the hell? Now, I know. You know what's amazing about me? Here's what's amazing. I say these things. People get so mad. You're racist, you're sexist, you're anti-player, blah, 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 misogynist, all the is. And then I turn out to be right. That's amazing. I'm so used to it, I can't even tell you. But I am. I really and truly am. Max Homa took 35th place in the PGA Championship. Max Homa's pretty funny. Max Homa took it like a champ. And it took a shot at himself and made fun of Scotty Scheffler. Now, Scotty Scheffler seems to be the kind of guy that can take a little bit of humor directed at himself. He doesn't seem like he takes himself too seriously. Here's what Homa said. Frustrating week in Kentucky. I lost to a guy who was literally in jail Friday morning. Tough look for me. The journey continues in Fort Worth next week. There you go. All right. That's pretty funny. That's really funny. Hey, man, I lost to some dude that was in the can Friday. Dude comes out of jail and beats my ass all weekend. That's how bad I was. That's how good he was. No, I think it's more how bad this guy was. That's pretty good by Max Homa. Kendrick, Perkins, we salute you. When you're sitting on the set with two women that have no idea and are pandering to clutch sports, at some point you just get frustrated. Look, nobody DEI hires better than ESPN. And ESPN executives, Tim Corrigan, Connor Schell, and the rest, they know this product sucks, but they're married to it. They can't get away from the world of DEI. That's why you see big old Ramona Shelbourne on there, espousing her stupidity. And Uchi Yamaguchi, I don't know her name, Chimmy something, I don't know, and I don't care. On there, going like this with their fingers and all this stuff that people do. That's why you see all these folks on there, pandering. Well, it got to be a little too much from Big Perk. Rare is it that we side with Big Perk. But Big Perk had enough. Big Perk had enough of Bronny James. He's had enough of these women kissing the ass of clutch sports, saying that Bronny James should be drafted because he's a nice kid. He handles himself professionally. Look, when you work at ESPN, you're supposed to play the hits. You're supposed to talk about the Knicks. You're supposed to talk about LeBron James. Remember when Brett Favre was all the rage? He wasn't all the rage in Green Bay, but the minute he went to the Jets and started taking pictures of his pee-pee and sending them to Jen Sturger, guess what? He became all the rage. Well, that's called playing the hits. And it just gets tiring. In fact, has there ever been a less interesting, more hyped franchise than the New York Knicks? Now, you're going to say the Dallas Cowboys, but at least the Dallas Cowboys are interesting. The New York Knicks are uninteresting. They haven't had a Game 7 in the Garden since 1995. Now, I'm no math major, but that's damn near 30 years ago. But everybody says a Game 7 in the Garden is special. Yeah, it's special because it's like a full eclipse. It never happens. Ain't nothing special. But ESPN, got to talk about it just like they got to talk about LeBron James and just like they got to talk about Bronny James. And the little women of ESPN who are all involved up in the ass of clutch sports can't stop being idiots about it, and Kendrick Perkins just had enough. Let's hear from Big Perk.
Hey, look, let me say this. We have to stop. We have to stop. As the media and everybody else shining the light on Bronny, because it's other players that are deserve our attention, right? The lottery guys, the guys that are actually that are going to get drafted in the first round. Like, we're talking about a guy, a young man that's possibly going to go late second round or not getting drafted at all. I've never, in my 4 years of working here, I've never sat on the table where we're talking about a second-round pick.
But this is LeBron James' son, and that is a legitimate storyline that one of the greatest of all times has a son trying to play in the NBA at the same time.
And you have to give Bronny credit for actually trying to say the right things and showing up in the right places. And at the end of the day,
and by the way, I like seeing LeBron in the stands as a proud dad. I like that. That's a great example from fatherhood.
He's the #1 scorer in NBA.
What does that have to do with his son being at the draft
Scottie Pippen's kid was playing on the Lakers.
But we didn't shine the light on Scottie Pippen's son like this. We can't move the goalposts and feel like we go do it when it's convenient for us.
When we say Nepo baby, that means.
I mean, listen to these idiot women. I mean, seriously, listen to these idiot women. Seriously, I mean, I know we're only supposed to say men are idiots. Well, he talks nice, and it's LeBron James' son, and blah, 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 blah. I guarantee you both of those idiots got a text from LeBron James saying, hey, thank you. Thanks for doing that. I mean, the level of stupid. Thank God for Tim Legler. Seriously. He's right, Perkins. I mean, these two idiot women just kept talking over Kendrick Perkins when they were just making the dumbest points. And they're idiots. Like, there is no credential for Ramona Shelburne. I guess the other one plays in the WNBA or something. I don't know. But you gotta sit there as Kendrick Perkins, a 20-year NBA player, and listen to these two dummies talking about what? Talking about how LeBron James' son is a nice kid and LeBron James is a good father, so he should be drafted? What? Andrew Dakich is a nice kid, and I'm a top 5 dad, but I hate to say it, but he shouldn't have been drafted. But it's LeBron James, the greatest of all time. So what? I mean, there is zero credibility, but here's what's going to happen to big old Ramona and the other one. They'll get promoted. That's why ESPN's NBA coverage is so freaking bad. I mean, it is so bad. It is so just out of the box, ridiculously idiotic. And the people that run it, I've had conversations with them, they know it's asinine. They know it's horrible. But they're stuck. They were stuck with Jalen Rose and his racism, and now they're stuck with these two idiot women and other idiot women and Stephen A. Smith and Mike Wilbon, both of whom have absolutely no basketball chops, should never be talking serious basketball on a set. Now, if they want to talk joking basketball in their argument shows, God bless them. But it is fascinating. Mike Malone wasn't happy. Mike Malone's the coach of the Denver Nuggets, and good for Mike Malone. Mike Malone went off. Let's hear from Mike Malone.
Well, how hard is it just to absorb a loss like this after going ahead by 20?
Next question, man. The season's over. That's what's hard. Being up 20. The season's over. You don't understand that. The season's over. It's hard. Stupid questions.
Good for him. Good for him. Dumbass, the season's effing over. How hard is it to absorb? What are you talking about? Good for Mike Malone. See, we need more of that. We need more of that and less stupid. Hey, Mike, well, how hard is it to absorb now that the season's over? Hey, dumbass, let me tell you something. You had a 20-point lead. The season's over, idiot. I mean, that's hard to absorb. You think you're the defending champs. You think you got a chance to repeat, and you just got your ass beat. Absorb this, you moron. Absorb this, you dumbass. Again, dumbasses ask feelings questions. That reporter had no idea about basketball, so he didn't know how to ask a basketball question. It's no different than when you watch ESPN softball, the women's softball coverage. It's about feeling, oh, we're so fired up. Oh, she's so fired up to play today. Look at this team and how fired up they play. Yeah, okay. That's all they got. Because they don't know squat, and they don't know how to evaluate, analyze, or in this clown's case, he has no idea about basketball, so he can't ask a basketball question. It's that simple. Period. That's it. Bada bing, bada boom. I will say this, though, Reggie Miller got after him. When the series changed, Jalen Brunson, you're a true baller, been the best player in the playoffs, but you and your boys can heal up together. That's right. On some beautiful beaches in Cancun. Enjoy. There you go. All right. Gotcha. See, I love the fact that, you know what? I love the fact that NBA old guys are still out there scrapping. Reggie Miller's scrapping from 30 years ago. I always go to 30 years ago. So when I went to college in 1981, when I listened to anybody scrapping from 1951, I mean, Isaiah's out there telling everybody how he won 2 championships back-to-back, only little guard to do it. Now, that I can get down with because people forget. They forget the greatness of Isaiah Thomas. You know, and Jordan's out there saying he hates Isaiah Thomas. Jordan's out there saying all these things. And Isaiah's fighting back. And I ain't mad about it. I'm not mad about it at all. Good for him. But I love the old guys out there scrapping. I didn't like John Starks and Stephon Marbury standing on the court. Stephon Marbury, my ass. I go back to the great Hugh Durham. Hugh Durham coached Stephon Marbury's older brother, Zach. He bought him out of New York City to go play at Georgia. Hugh Durham was the coach. I'm standing at 5-star basketball camp, and Hugh Durham's standing next to me. And he looks at me. He goes, "You watching that Marbury?" I go, "No, I'm watching a couple other guys. I couldn't bring Marbury in to play for Coach Knight." He goes, "I'll tell you what. I coached a Marbury. I don't care if he was Jesus Christ himself. I ain't ever coaching another Marbury. They're complete idiots." And Stephon Marbury became a complete idiot. But now he's on the sidelines, he and John Starks, acting like AAU dads. "Take him! Oh!" What, you Reggie Rose? Derek's brother? Only way you'd be Reggie Rose is if you brought a gun to an AAU event. But anyway, I digress. I love the old guys scrapping. There's something fun about it. I don't know. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. He's back. Sleepy Joe Biden is back with more, I love this term, word salad and dementia. Hey, I'll have word salad and a side of dementia, please. Can you give me a little bit of crazy in there? Thank you. I'm good. This time while speaking at an NAACP event, Joe Biden claims he was vice president when COVID decimated the world. He wasn't. And that Barack Obama sent him to Detroit to fix it. Of course, that didn't happen. And he goes on to call January 16th participant erectionist. Now, I'm not going to get too personal, but about 3 times a month, I am an erectionist. I mean, that's just, odd. But anyway, here's Joltin' Joe. Here's the first one on Joltin' Joe Biden. Let's hear from Captain Crazy.
And when I was vice president, things were kind of bad during the pandemic. And what happened was, Barack said to me, "Go to Detroit and help fix it." Well, poor mayor, he spent more time with me than he ever thought he was going to have to. God love you.
What? Go to Detroit and fix the pandemic. Wait a second. I wasn't vice president during the pandemic? Barack Obama wasn't president during the pandemic? Huh? What? Hey, when's the last time you were called an erectionist? Here we go. Let's listen. You're an erectionist.
He calls the erectionists who stormed Capitol Hill patriots.
Can you play that again? He tried to Google it because he didn't know how to say it.
He calls the erectionists who stormed Capitol Hill patriots.
Erectionists. Hey, what are you doing today? I think I'm going to be an erectionist. Hey, honey, what are you doing today? Well, let's go be erectionists. Man, oh man, that should be, both of those, should be front and center on every single ABC, NBC, CBS, everywhere. CNN, Fox, everywhere. We got a president that thinks he was vice president during the pandemic, and he wasn't vice president during the pandemic. We got a president that thinks while he was vice president during the pandemic, which he wasn't, that Barack Obama sent him to Detroit to fix it. And that's nowhere to be seen. The Today Show, where you at? George Stephanopoulos, you little runt, where are you at? You're nowhere. Nobody's nowhere. It's just become SOP, standard operating procedure, that we're going to bring nothing, zero, nothing to the table. Nothing. When this guy acts like a dumbass, it don't matter. When this guy lies, it don't matter. When his dementia-riddled brain stops working and he's got to go off script, it don't matter. When he goes 9 minutes without blinking, try it. It don't matter. And somehow, some way, somehow, you watch, the Democrats are going to figure out how to cheat it again. They are. If they do it this time, I got to tell you, there might be a revolt. I don't want to say or call for it because me calling for it doesn't matter. But I got to tell you, people might be like, hold on here. Hold on. We'll believe a lot of stuff, but we ain't believing this guy is the president legit. They're very lucky it didn't happen the first time. Very lucky. Because mathematically, what happened in the last election could not happen. But somehow, some way, they got away with it. All right. But this dementia-ridden clown, who nobody comes to see, even in his own states, who nobody has any interest in, who every single human being with a brain knows lies constantly. I get it, you don't like Donald Trump, but why don't you like Donald Trump? Because he said grab him in the mouth. Well, this guy, according to the diary of his daughter, may have molested his own daughter. What? Man, this guy right here may have, I don't know, stolen millions or accepted millions from other companies. What? I don't know what to tell you. But I do know this. I do know that this guy somehow is probably going to get elected because Democrats know how to rig the system. And if you don't believe it, good for you. God bless you. But you're crazy. Hey, I want to go back to something real quick. You know, yesterday it was kind of interesting. The Pacers beat the hell out of the Knicks. And next thing you know, my man here, Nick, just, I don't know, took the day off. Couldn't face up to the ass kicking that happened in the Garden after we had to hear him over the last few weeks talking about the Knicks. Let me guess, you get the sniffles?
I had to spend it with the family. I had a nice little weekend with the family.
It was Monday. Weekend's over.
I had to hear it from you on Sunday. That was bad enough.
Yeah. Well, you didn't hear much. You should have heard more. I don't know. What are you doing tonight? I'm going to tell you what I'm doing tonight. I'm watching the Pacers take on the Celtics at about 8:30. What are Knicks fans doing tonight?
Crying and drinking.
Let me ask you this question. Alone. Did you think the ESPN coverage was a little over the top relative to the Knicks?
I think so because, going back to game 2, game 3, when Pacers head coach was like firing off about all the missed calls. So I think they were like a little biased at first, and I didn't think they realized how good the Pacers were. So maybe they started shifting gears a little bit. But once, Indiana was dialed in game 7. There was no stopping them. I mean, same with game 6, but at the same time, game 7 was just an absolute bloodbath. No one was stopping them. No one was stopping Halliburton. No one was stopping Miles Turner. And I hate TJ McConnell just because he's scrappy as hell.
Why would you hate him? I would figure that he would be like a, quote, New York kind of guy. Actually, New York and Detroit kind of guys are big, overbearing pussies. But that's okay. And McConnell wouldn't fit into that. I get it. But why wouldn't you love McConnell? You should be loving McConnell.
Because he smacked the Knicks. Why would I like anybody who smacks the Knicks? They're all in my shit list now.
It's a battle of the white boys. Peyton Pritchard against T.J. McConnell in the second quarter coming up. That's right. We'll see. Hey, McConnell was good though. McConnell was really good.
He was cooking. He was cooking all series. I think it was It was the first game he played of the series against the Knicks. He pissed me off, but what I'm really looking forward to is Dallas, the Dallas series. I really want to see Luka make it to the NBA Finals. I think he's been robbed for a few years now of an NBA Finals appearance. So I really would like to see that. Plus, I like Kyrie. I have a soft spot for Kyrie, mainly because he called out Eric Adams, and I hate Eric Adams. Mayor sucks.
Well, I'm not mad at him calling out Eric Adams, but I got to tell you, I do. I got to tell you, I'm tired of Luka Doncic.
Why?
He's my people. Because he bitches, whines, and moans too much. He's fat, and he doesn't guard a soul.
Well, I feel like the fatter the NBA player, the more you want to root for them, because everybody in the NBA is skinny and jacked. You see a Biggins coming through at 6'11". You kind of want to root for that. Fat Europeans, absolutely love it. I need more of it.
No, I'm with you.